Hi, this is Andrew Ward from awardconsulting.net, and today I want to talk at a high level about what to do if you have Metaswitch compact PCI hardware. So that's a 2510 or a 3510 chassis and the CH9020, 9021, 9024 call feature servers. These products are currently in the end-of-life process, and so you have some decisions to make about how to handle that. So from a dates point of view, the compact PCI stuff was first sold, I think, starting around 2004, and was end of life, well, the end of sale date rather, was November 2015. So it had a good long run, but now it's a couple of years past that end of sale date. So what that means for you today is if you have a Metaswitch hardware warranty service, then you can still get replacements. Metaswitch can still provide replacements if some hardware fails, and that will continue to be true until 2023. So you've got a good long window to deal with that. But in the meantime, you do have this concern that you can't buy any more spares, that new Metaswitch software releases will not be available on your hardware, and so you definitely want to be thinking about how to handle this situation. So as you plan for the future, you basically have a couple of options. The first is to replace the hardware. Sounds simple enough. Metaswitch have released an ATCA media gateway, which has been available since 2012. So again, that's specialist hardware. It has connections for DS3s, and you can use it to connect to the PSTN, over SS7 with ISAP trunks, MF trunks, PRIs in your network, all of that. And that's great, and the ATCA Media Gateway is a good product, and it works well. It has higher capacity than the old one, and it comes in both a 2-slot version, which is good for small to medium-size carriers, and also a 14-slot chassis, which is got much more scale. The problem, of course, is that while this is newer, fundamentally it's still a hardware platform, it's still specialized hardware, and eventually this will also go end of life. You may buy yourself an extra 5 or 10 years, but ultimately you're going to be in the same boat. So a key question to ask yourself is, do you want to spend the money it takes to replace your media gateway hardware only to have to do it again, somewhere down the line? So your other option is to instead try to become a VoIP-only provider. So try to remove the need to have TDM connectivity in your network. If you're able to do that, then that's pretty powerful, because the reason you need specialist telecoms hardware is because you have that physical connectivity. Once you become an IP-only provider, then you no longer need specialist hardware. So everything that you do, you're not relying on this constant hardware upgrade cycle. But of course, the key question is, how do you actually do that? And it's not as simple as it sounds. So if you can really become pure IP, then that means you need to remove SS7, remove ISAP trunks, remove any MF trunks you may still have, all of that on the network side. And then on the subscriber side, you need to get rid of any TDM subscribers. So maybe you've got some GR303 connectivity still, maybe you have some PRIs to PBXs, all of that stuff you would need to remove. On the subscriber side, that's not that hard. You can fairly easily replace your TDM subscribers with VoIP connections, at least from the switch, even if you have TDM still at the customer prem. On the network side, it's not so easy. Getting rid, well, certainly many people will set up SIP trunks for you, that's fine, but removing SS7 connections entirely from your switch is more of a challenge, primarily because a lot of the LECs, the RBOCs, will only allow CLECs and ILECs to connect to them over SS7. So there's more of a challenge there. It is actually, I think, becoming possible to do this. It's not easy, but it is a strategy that you can take, and I'm actually planning to write more about that in the fairly near future. So watch this space for more information on that path. There is also another way to do this, which doesn't require entirely removing TDM from your network. You could, depending on your situation, potentially consolidate your equipment. So if you have multiple media gateways in your own network, then you could, designate one of them as your TDM media gateway, and maybe that one is on ATCA, and everyone else uses TDM in that location, and the rest of your connectivity is all VoIP. So you could gradually consolidate your TDM activities into one place. The other option, if you're a small carrier, maybe you could collaborate with another local carrier and have them run your switch for you. And you still manage your subscribers and maybe the subscriber devices, IADs and so on, but they're the ones who have the TDM switch. So there's an article I wrote a few months ago on switch consolidation, which talks about some of the challenges involved there, but that's definitely another option you could take if you're maybe a rural small carrier and there are other carriers around that you could cooperate with in that way. Of course, having moved to a pure VoIP network, you still need software to make it run. And this is why Metaswitch has been pushing so hard to encourage everyone to virtualize their deployments. So you'll have read a lot about NFV and about virtualized software. So if you're able to become all IP, then that allows you to take advantage of that future direction. So that means that you could then run your CFS, run your EAS, all of your core services, all in the cloud. Maybe that's your own cloud, your own virtual machines, or maybe it's public cloud. But either way, you can then create a deployment that's entirely in software, and then you never have to worry about hardware upgrade cycles again. You never have to worry about hardware failures. You just have everything running in virtual machines, and the world is a better place. At least that's the vision. So hopefully that's given you some things to think about. You've got a few years hopefully to figure this all out, but it is an important question and it's going to take some time. Whichever path you go, it'll take some time to move from where you are now to where you're trying to get to. So hopefully this has given you some food for thought, and of course feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or want to talk further. Thanks very much.